Hi there, Sally here. Thought I would show you a video here. It's going to comprise of all the brush set that I now sell via my website, and it will obviously show you my practice board. Here I'm using the Charlotte Realistic board. I will also be using the Orphe digital one, and of course it's going to comprise of me showing you how I teach my one-stroke technique as I run online membership group with over 100 tutorials, but I also teach in person. It's going to also show you me using my one-stroke palettes that I have been creating for a very long time now and sell all over the world, along with my practice boards. And it'll give you an idea of what they look like, what it is I do. Some of you might think I only sell practice boards, some of you might think I only teach one stroke, etc. So I thought I'd combine this little video showing you what it is I do. So here I am using one of the brushes in the set of 9. I'm showing you how to paint a one-stroke butterfly without a rainbow one-stroke, because I know some of you will panic that you don't have a one-stroke, a rainbow one-stroke. So I'm showing you how to break it up, and actually these can actually be more vibrant than a one-stroke rainbow. So here I have used the yellow in the inside with this beautiful blendy type brush that I now use for one stroke. I have them in different sizes, but this one I feel will be suitable for beginners but also advanced face painters, and I can get these very easily currently on my website. The bigger one was actually selling out a lot and I couldn't get hold of it, and I don't like using brushes that I can't let my students know that they can get to, so I've been using that one quite a lot. So as you can see, the lighter colour, as I said, is in the middle of the face, and then I go out with the darker colours. This actually is how most makeup artists would would actually do the makeup on a face. So the dark colour on the outside and the lighter highlighting paints on the inside, and then you get to look at the face as a complete face rather than looking in different sections. So this is the way I try and do my butterflies. And also lots of full faces with the darker colours on the outer edge and the lighter colours on the inside. It's also easier for cleaning, to be honest. And roses are the complete opposite. You have the lighter colours on the outside and the darker colours on the inside to get the light reflecting where it needs to reflect. So I'm just trying to tell you how I will do my tutorials for those who would like to join the online membership or come and see me in person. I've been using various brushes here, so if you rewind this video you'll see that I just used the 1/2" long angle brush, but now I'm using a nice fine liner brush for my black detailing. And so it's kind of now I kind of wiggle like just then, and wiggle with that bigger edge. And then when I come to detail the inner part of the veins for the butterfly, you almost have the brush so it's virtually upright to get those very fine lines, otherwise they'll be quite thick still. You'll find that the liner brushes are very, very forgiving, and it means that unlike a round brush, where I'm doing the veins now, although I'm trying to be quite precise, you don't have to be on the job. So if you did 1 or 2, 3 veins on the one side, it doesn't have to be completely accurate on the other side. it will still look like you've got symmetry down. I also talk a lot about loading, and when people watch me, they'll notice that I don't use tons and tons of water with my paints, but equally there's a fine line where the paints can be too dry as well. So it's quite important to get the balance right. I use exactly the same amount of paint on my practice boards as I do on the face. It's all about the loading. And just then I'm now showing you that I use a liner brush for white and a liner brush for my dark paints. And the lighter, the wooden colour liner in the set is great because I use that to load with my white paint. And so I'll know which one to pick up for the black and which one to pick up for the white, or the liner brush that I use darker colours on, because sometimes I use a dark brown to detail as well. I'm showing you how with the liner brush you can use for little nice fairy dots too, like on here. And here I'm using a long filbert brush, which is beautiful. So I'm just doing some nice little dotty bits in the middle because I don't use stencils anymore, even though I have hundreds of them. I try and teach you that it's you and your brush, you and your skills that can complete the look all by itself without the need of stencils. So again, just showing you how you can delicately highlight areas with these liner brushes, and they keep their shape really nice. Over time you will need to replace the more detailed brushes rather than the one strokes, because we do put them through their paces, but they do still last a very, very long time. So here I have my Orphe digital board. We also do Orphe in the realistic board as well, but I really do love the digital one. It's one of my favourites. It's Ilse Custer's daughter, who probably looks very different to this now, as this board has been around for quite some time. So here I'm using the very popular 3/4 short angled brush, and I remember designing this for the face painting shop very long time ago, but this brush is just the best. It's a lot softer, and I just these days prefer it. You live and learn, don't you? And so, you know, one year you can like one thing and then you change, but these ones, the bristles don't fall out. They just last a very long time. They really are tried and tested. So I'm just showing you here how you can use it for your one-stroke roses. If you're new to roses, then you might want to use the 1/2-inch longer brush to do smaller roses, and also in the set is a 5/8 brush for slightly smaller work, but just showing you how you can use the bigger one here. When the ladies come to me in person for either one-to-one training or group training, they get given 9 brushes to use on the day. They get to use all my one-stroke paints as well, so it's like trying before you buy. And very often the students will end up buying either the set of brushes or some of them in the set, because obviously the cost can add up. So again, using the 1/2-inch longer brush here to do the leaves. Obviously when I have my online tutorials, I will talk way more in depth than what I'm doing here. This is just to show you a video of how these brushes work that are in the set available on my website now, but also how my paints work and how the practice boards work too. So it's combining a bit of everything in this promotional video. But hopefully some of you who are visual, I'm a visual person, you will be able to pick up some skills from this video too. So trying to aim and help a good few of you out there who follow my page. And thank you for following, because I'm always really grateful for the support. It means a lot, and I love to share what I do and hope that Onestroke face painting skills will improve by some of the support that I try and give you along the way. When people do attend my Onestroke in person tuition, they also get a month free on the membership group. So this is great that when they're in the class they don't have to make loads of notes in case they forget something, because they can go and join the group for a month and recap on everything that I've taught them. But also on the group they can ask questions as well, ask to see tutorials, and I will endeavour to get those done and share with the rest of the group so everybody benefits from them. So it's a win-win-win for everybody and not just for one or two. So here you can see a little side butterfly, some little roses, and I wouldn't normally do a design as full as this, taking this long. It's obviously I'm just trying to maximise on all the brushes in the set, trying to showcase them here for the purpose of this video. I've been using the liners here again, and where I outlined the side butterfly with black, I'm now just gently lining the roses to bring them forward, but I'm using a dark brown. The dark brown is by Party Explosion, which is a beautiful dark brown. If you want to know the paints that are in my palettes, they're a complete mix of different brands such as Superstar, Global, DFX, Party Explosion, if I didn't already mention that, and Face Paints Australia. Very, very, very little tag. They're not my favourite paints, but I will use them if I can't get any others. And I don't use Fusion either. So as you can see, these brushes are being showcased here, and this one is the number 2 round brush, which is a beautiful brush for teardrops and swirls, and you can dot with it too. I love it for that reason. And also I like using the long filbert for doing teardrops and swirls, etc. And obviously sometimes I will use them for tiger stripes and stuff like that. But equally I will use a very small number, I think it's 2.0 pointed round for the smaller detailing too. So this one here showing you the blue swirls is using a long filbert brush and just delicately just picking up some more swirls and highlights for this design, like so. And when I outline the roses, like when I just said I use the dark brown, I only sort of go around very, very delicately, giving the impression that it's fully lined when it really isn't. So bear that in mind. You don't want it too strong, you want it really light, otherwise it's too much. And here finally I'm using the little detail brush, the number 20 in the set, and this is the brush that I'll go to for painting my unicorn faces and very small detailing. Even I use it for the tigers, for outlining and detailing pussycat faces or anything like that. This would probably be the go-to brush. Again, I would on the job use one for darker colours and one for light, just so I don't muddy up my white paint. And hopefully this will give you an idea of, I think I used nearly all the brushes in the set for this design, just to show you them in use, just painting the lips on the board just to showcase these boards to their full potential, because they can look absolutely gorgeous on social media. Every single face that we have used so far is based on a real person or is a real person, and usually face painters, children as well. So I love the fact that they are real people. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed me showing you that little example. And then finally, what I'm going to show you is how these paints look on my hand. So I'm using the same Onestroke. So here I'm showing you how you overload it too much and it's all wet and runny. Then most of you would head for your baby wipes and really ruin your paints, because you'll end up scraping loads of paint out. What a waste of money. And you'd also get fibres in your paints as well. And so here I'm just using the same brush as I did on the practice board, but painting my arm and going into the paint. So when you wet that paint too much, just take off the moist with your brush and wipe it on your towel, which will act as a artist palette when you're painting. And just loading it up again. You'll see my water, you can see, is down below where I'm painting, and you'll notice I don't go into the water very often. Now I'm just cleaning out that brush because it had a bit of old green on it. So again, I just really dip those brushes slightly in the water. I don't saturate them, and I still dab on the towel to take some of the extra water out. And that rose is now complete, and I'll find my liner brush, just an example, go in that dark brown and just casually give the impression that it's fully lined, and the brown is softer than outlining in black and is way more natural and organic. I'm thinking of earth. So yeah, so way more natural, but as you can see, the paint is virtually the same colour as what is on the practice board too, just proving the consistency, and the colours on the practice boards are quite true to life. And again, just finishing it using a number 2 pointed round. And there we go, all done. Enjoy. Bye guys.